Alright, yo, what's up, guys? It's time to predict the main and co-main event for UFC 247. And I feel like this card should have been stronger, like, as a whole. My pet peeve with the UFC is that they always seem to put two title fights that aren't so compelling on the same card together. Like John versus Reyes and Shevchenko versus Chukagian. I mean, we pretty much know how these are going to go. I mean, no disrespect to the challengers, of course, but like these are two all-time greats in their prime. So beef up the undercard at least. And no beefed up undercard. All we have is really Derek Lewis and Alir Latifi. I mean, so, the fights are the fights. We watch them anyway. Cool, awesome. But, like, some names would be nice on these pay-per-view cards. You know what I mean? Like, a couple ESPN Plus cards were probably deeper than this. But anyway, let me get into the predictions. Let me not complain too much. You know what I mean? So, Valentina Shevchenko versus Caitlin Chukagian is most definitely the best two in the division. That's what I like about this fight, is that they gave Valentina the second best girl in the division. Awesome. Caitlin Chukagian is no Jessica Eye. She is very technical. She moves around a lot. She has great footwork. She throws very good kicks in her fights. I watched her last fight, and the whole time I was watching it, I was just like, yeah, this girl, like, she can kickbox pretty well. And Valentina Shevchenko is just an assassin. Pick where you want to go, and she'll dominate the fight there. So, I mean, I probably see Valentina Shevchenko winning this fight. I'm going to say by submission in the fourth round. Submission in the fourth round. Moving on to the main event. We've got Jon Jones versus Dominic Reyes. Two undefeated fighters. And they're undefeated. And probably the best fighter in the world. He's definitely up there. So, Dominic Reyes is a knockout kind of fighter. He likes to finish fights. But the thing is, I feel like I watched Volkan Ozdemir beat Dominic Reyes. I think Volkan Ozdemir, I had him winning that fight before they announced the decision. And then, boom, Dominic Reyes won, and he called out John after that fight. I wasn't very impressed with that fight at all. Definitely didn't think he was ready for John. Then he fought Chris Weidman. Weidman's been getting beat pretty consistently lately at 185, and then moves up to 205 against an undefeated guy. So I picked Dominic Reyes going into that fight. I'm sure most of you picked Dominic Reyes going into that fight, and he delivered, and he knocked out Chris Weidman. You can only beat who they put in front of you, so there's no faulting Dominic there, but, like, it's not enough for me to take you serious against Jon Jones. I like that he's a tall guy. I like that he's an athletic guy. But the fact that he says that he's this athlete that Jon Jones has never faced is false. I'm not even going to go through the laundry list of people who Jon Jones has beaten who are more explosive athletes in the octagon than Dominic Reyes. I mean, Dominic Reyes is definitely an athlete and a respectable one, but Jon Jones has fought everybody that he could possibly fight at his weight class, besides Rumble Johnson's that fight. You know, they tried to make that fight, so. I do agree that Alexander Gustafsson gave Jon Jones the most problems, and he is a tall boxer, much like Dominic Reyes is a tall boxer, but I think Alexander Gustafsson's a lot better of a fighter. than Dominic Reyes. I don't think Alexander Gustafsson is getting outfought by Volkan Ozdemir, but who knows? He did lose to Anthony Smith, so who knows? But, you know, John Jones is just done what he pleased. I thought the Thiago Santos fight was very close, and I didn't know who was going to win when I was awaiting the decision. But also, he dominated Anthony Smith. He finished Gustafsson. Before that, we saw him finish DC, even though, like, it's an asterisk, but he finished DC. And, you know, he's just dominated everybody there is to dominate. And now he's fighting a guy who's undefeated. I'm going to go John Jones by second round TKO. And TKO being, he's probably going to ground and pound him. Second round ground and pound TKO is what I got for John. I could easily see him getting Dominic Reyes, getting one of his ligaments and putting him, submitting him early as well. But John is, like, he's been talking about the finish. He wants the finish, and obviously a submission is a finish, but I think if he has the chance to, he'll just get a dominant position on Dominic on the ground and then start smashing him. I could see that. So that's what I'm going to say. John Jones, second round, ground and pound, TKO. All right, guys. I'm going to be posting more videos. I just haven't been posting the last week or so because, you know, some things have been going on. But I got some stuff to talk about. I want to talk about, you know, the Colby Covington stuff that's going on. I want to talk about Masvidal versus Usman. I want to talk about Max Holloway versus Volkanovski 2. I want to talk about Stipe and DC, Khabib and Tony. I want to talk about all that, but I haven't made the videos yet, but I will. But this is just to make sure I get my predictions in for this card. John Jones and Shevchenko are both going to retain. And that is what it is. All right, y'all.